of work, I didn't exactly know how he was going to sound. And I had just been thinking about it and hoping that.
Wesley Snipes, From Blade to the Brink and Back Again. When people talk about Hollywood legends of the 1990s, one name still carries a sharp, unforgettable edge. Wesley Snipes. He was fast, disciplined, magnetic on screen, and powerful enough to redefine what an action star looked like. Long before superhero movies ruled the box office, Snipes stepped forward as Blade, opening a door that would later become the Marvel Universe. Then, almost unbelievably, the lights went out. A man once worth tens of millions of dollars found himself fighting courtrooms instead of villains, headlines instead of box offices. His reputation collapsed, his fortune disappeared, and Hollywood turned away. Many believe the story was over, but it wasn't. This is not just the story of a famous actor. It is the journey of ambition, discipline, mistakes, consequences, and resilience. The rise, the fall, and the unexpected return of Wesley Snipes. A childhood forged by contrast. Wesley Trent Snipes was born on July 31st, 1962, in Orlando, Florida. His early years were brief and calm, but life soon shifted dramatically. His family moved to the South Bronx, New York, a place that at the time was defined by poverty, crime, and constant tension. Sirens were part of everyday life, and danger lingered on nearly every street. Snipes grew up with his mother, Marion Long, a hardworking teacher's assistant, and his father, Wesley Rudolph Snipes, an aircraft engineer. They were an educated family doing their best to survive in a harsh environment. That contrast shaped Wesley early: structure at home, chaos outside. Unlike many kids in his neighborhood, Wesley didn't look for trouble. Instead, he found refuge in movement and discipline. Martial arts became his escape. In small rooms and limited spaces, he practiced kicks, forms, and techniques with intense focus. What began as a way to stay out of danger soon became a defining part of his identity. At the same time, another passion emerged: performance. Wesley was drawn to stages, lights, and expression. He imagined himself not just surviving, but standing out. That dream led him to the High School of Performing Arts in Manhattan, a prestigious institution that nurtured future actors, dancers, and performers. Life there was not easy. Money was tight, pressure was constant, and Wesley felt the weight of being a young black artist in a world that offered limited space for people like him. Still, the struggle hardened his resolve. The Bronx gave him toughness. The stage gave him direction. First steps into Hollywood. Wesley Snipes made his film debut in 1986 with a small role in Wildcats. It wasn't a breakout, but it was a beginning. Directors noticed his sharp presence and intense gaze. A year later, fate intervened in an unexpected way. In 1987, Snipes appeared as the intimidating gang leader in Michael Jackson's music video Bad. His screen time was short, but his impact was immediate. Millions of viewers around the world saw him and asked the same question: who is that guy? Hollywood answered quickly. In 1991, Snipes delivered a career-defining performance as Nino Brown in New Jack City. The film was made on a modest budget but became a massive success, earning nearly $47 million worldwide. Snipes wasn't just convincing, he was unforgettable. Overnight, he became a major name, becoming the action king. The early 1990s belonged to Wesley Snipes. Passenger 57, 1992, confirmed him as a true action star, earning nearly $45 million in the U.S. alone. Then came Demolition Man, 1993, where he went head-to-head with Sylvester Stallone. The film dominated the global box office, pulling in over $159 million. With each success, Snipes' status grew. His salary rose from hundreds of thousands to millions per film. He starred in Money Train, U.S. Marshals, and a steady stream of high-profile projects. By the mid-1990s, he was among the most recognizable and bankable stars in Hollywood. Yet nothing would define him more than what came next. Blade, a historic turning point. In 1998, Wesley Snipes took on a role few expected to matter. Blade, a half-vampire hunter in a dark, gritty comic book adaptation. At the time, superhero films were risky, and Marvel was struggling. Snipes transformed the role into something iconic. Dressed in black, moving with martial arts precision, he gave audiences a hero they had never seen before. Blade earned over $131 million worldwide on a $45 million budget. Snipes became one of the highest-paid black actors in Hollywood. The success continued with Blade 2, 2002, and Blade, Trinity, 2004. The trilogy earned nearly $420 million globally and proved that superhero films could dominate the box office. Many credit Blade as the foundation that later allowed the Marvel Empire to exist. Power, pressure, and problems. With success came power, and with power came tension. By the early 2000s, rumors spread that Snipes was difficult to work with. On the set of Blade, Trinity, conflicts escalated. Stories circulated of communication breakdowns, creative disputes, and an atmosphere thick with frustration. While Snipes denied the most extreme allegations, the damage was done. Hollywood began to see him not as an asset, but as a risk. Offers slowed, big-budget roles disappeared, and then came something far worse than bad press. The tax case that changed everything. In the early 2000s, Wesley Snipes became involved with advisors who promoted flawed tax theories. Trusting their guidance, he stopped filing federal tax returns between 1999 and 2004. In 2006, the U.S. government indicted Snipes on multiple charges related to tax violations. The trial became a national spectacle. Headlines were brutal. The image of a Hollywood star sitting in a courtroom shocked the public. In 2008, Snipes was acquitted of the most serious fraud charges, but convicted on 3 counts of willful failure to file tax returns. He was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. In December 2010, Wesley Snipes entered prison. The red carpets were gone. The cameras disappeared. Silence replaced applause. Life behind bars and financial collapse. Snipes served 28 months. During that time, he kept a low profile, reading, training, and reflecting. When he was released in 2013, he spoke only briefly about the experience, calling it a long journey. Financially, the damage was devastating. Once worth tens of millions, Snipes faced massive tax debts. Properties were sold. Luxury cars disappeared. His once grand lifestyle collapsed. At one point, he owed more than $20 million in taxes and penalties. The fall was complete. The unexpected return. Many thought Hollywood would never call again. They were wrong. In 2014, Snipes returned to the big screen in The Expendables 3, standing alongside Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Statham. The audience reaction was electric. He was back. In 2021, he surprised fans again in Coming to America, showing comedic flair and charisma that reminded viewers of his range. Then came the moment no one expected. In 2024, Snipes appeared in a surprise cameo as Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine. The reaction was explosive. Fans erupted. The legacy was confirmed. The appearance even earned him a Guinness World Record for the longest gap between portrayals of the same Marvel character. Family and perspective. Behind the scenes, family became Snipes' anchor. His wife, Nikki Park, stood by him through the darkest years, raising their children while he served his sentence. Together, they built stability away from the spotlight. Snipes has often said that prison taught him the true value of time, especially time with family. Fame, he realized, is temporary. Responsibility is not legacy. Today, Wesley Snipes is no longer chasing box office domination. Instead, he stands as a symbol of resilience. His story carries a powerful lesson. Success can disappear in an instant, but rebuilding is always possible. He will always be remembered as the first Blade, the actor who helped open the door to modern superhero cinema. But more than that, he is remembered as a man who fell hard and stood back up. The journey from light to darkness and back again is what truly defines Wesley Snipes. All analysis and commentary in this video are based on publicly available information at the time of production and are subject to change over time.